What is the best way, of course this is going to be a depends question, what is the best way to help a business see the value in a marketing consultant? I think I would know the answer to that question. The best way is to have clients that talk about you and that will tell your story and that will give testimonials. Businesses, as a general rule in terms of their marketing, do a lousy job of getting testimonials and using them to their advantage. So again, in my case, if somebody is going to hire us as an agency, if someone else says, you should go talk to McLellan Marketing Group or you should go talk to Drew McLellan, odds are we're the only ones they're talking to, and it's sort of a done deal unless we stub our toe. If we have to answer an RFP or we have to go out and try and generate that new business opportunity, odds are we're competing with our peers. So just in terms of making it easier, the more our customers can rave about us, which gets back to my other marketing point, which is don't ignore your own customers. So make sure your customers feel loved and valued and special. So we do this thing, all of you probably get some sort of communication from McLellan Marketing Group at some point in time. You either see the blog, or you see the column in the Business Record, or you get our e-newsletter. And I got worried that our clients were going to go, God, you give everything away for free. What value is it to actually be your client? So we created this thing called the MMG Insider. And it's a monthly email where we send a little tidbit or a, boy, you should be watching about this, or hey, here's a trend that's on the horizon, that we send out every month, and the only people who get it are our clients. And I make a point of saying to them every month, you are the only people that get this, and I want you to know we're doing it because we appreciate your business and we know how valuable you are to us. And so we want to give you this little secret piece of tidbit of information that we're not sharing anywhere else. I get a ton of messages back. We send it by email. And there's nothing pretty about it. It's not HTML. It's just an email from us to them. And I get a ton of emails back saying, thanks for the information. So glad you do this. Appreciate that you thought about us. Even clients that we don't talk to every day. So my one tip is take really good care of the clients that you have because they're your best advertising. Number two, the best way to help them see it is to be able to demonstrate results. So to be able to say, client A came to us with this problem. Here are the 4 things we did to solve it, and here are the results. So to be able to, because the bottom line, when somebody hesitates hiring you, what they're really saying is, I'm not confident that things are going to be better 60 days from now than they are right now. And I know I'll be out $5,000, but I want to make sure I'm getting my money's worth for that. So talking about results, there are some marketing consultants who guarantee their results, depending on how much of the situation they can control. That's a slippery slope for anybody. You don't have to be a marketing consultant to do that. But we also do a lot of what we call first date or first dance kind of projects. So we'll say, well, you know what? Let's try this project together, see how that goes. And by the time we're done with that, we're going to sort of know if we're good dance partners. We're going to know, because it's not just about results, it's also about chemistry. It's also about, can they get a hold of you? If I get a text from a client at 7 o'clock at night, I have a conscious choice to make. Do I answer them or do I wait till business hours, right? So all of that first dance or that first date allows them to see what it's like to work with you. And again, that's not a marketing consultant thing. And by the way, I answer their text.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. It's not just about results, it is also about chemistry, but giving them a sample, it's no different than if you go to Costco or the grocery store, and on Saturdays, you can pretty much have lunch by the time you're through the store, and they know that if you will try the piece of hot dog or the cheese or the whatever, you're more likely to buy it. So think about your own services that way. Is there a way you can give an hors d'oeuvre sample of working with you, give them a little snack, a taste, and then they can decide if they want to buy more. One thing that I believe wholeheartedly is there is no reason to drag that horse to the water kicking and screaming. I've never believed in the hard sell. If somebody's ready to hire you, they will hire you. And they will hire you in their own time frame. It's not always the time frame we want, right? But you cannot force somebody to need or want you. You have to offer enough value that they'll come when they're ready. So part of that is also offering value before they know that they need it. So one thing I don't have to do for our company is I don't have to convince anyone that we understand marketing. Why? Because we're out and about talking about it ad nauseum everywhere. I'm sure to the point that people go, oh my God, Drew McClellan again? But that's our role, is to be out there, because I have no idea if one of you is this close to hiring an agency. And I have no idea if 3 years from now, one of you will be ready to hire an agency and you'll remember that we had this conversation and go, okay, of the 3 agencies we're gonna talk to, I wanna make sure one of them is McClellan Marketing Group. So part of it is being out there and being intentional all the time, knowing that you never know when somebody's gonna be ready to pull the trigger.
Drew, we have about 10 minutes.
Okay, what are we seeing as the best and worst web videos on main pages? One, we're not seeing a lot of web or videos yet on main pages. Most web pages are sort of still stuck in the 90s. It's all text. It's not interactive. It looks horrible on a smartphone. So we have not advanced to the point where everybody has really sophisticated web pages. Most videos are too long and they're boring. So, and it's not even about production quality, because YouTube has trained us to not really care as much about production quality. Yes, we love animation and we love stuff that's really well produced, but we're very tolerant of sort of the Menards level of video, right? And I don't mean that as a bad thing about Menards. Menards is my example of marketing doesn't always have to be really creative or good to work, because if I started the Menards jingle, you would all finish it in your head, right? It's not that it's good. It's not that the guy in the blue jeans or the overalls was a great actor. It was that we saw it all the time, and frequency works. So it's not about always quality in terms of video. It is about usefulness, interest. Is it valuable? Is it funny? Not funny just to be funny because you've just wasted 2 minutes of my time, but is there a reason that I got something out of watching it? And most videos, the reality is, I'm on the screen, I'm talking to you about me, telling you all about me, and then I'm going to say, enough about me, what do you think about me? And then that's why people don't pay attention to the video. Okay, so I've gotten through all of these. Looks like we have about 5 or 8 minutes. Yep.
You've talked about consistency, patience, not making changes too frequently. But at what point do you consider abandoning or changing course with something you've invested marketing down?
Yeah, it depends. If I was a lot younger, I would brand myself as the depends guy, but now I'm getting to the age where I don't really want to do that. I think when you start something new, you have to give yourself a window. And so you have to say, I'm going to do this for 6 months, or I'm going to do this for a year, or I'm going to do this for 3 months. And it really kind of depends on the tactic. And then I'm going to, for the first time, begin to question whether or not it's working. But I guarantee you, 99 times out of 100, you're pulling the plug too soon, not waiting too long. So again, you're probably not objective enough to make the decision by yourself. So whether you're a startup and you have an advisory board of friends and family, or you have an agency relationship, or you have a marketing director outside of your company that can give you some outside perspective, don't make it just yourself. But I would really caution you against thinking, yep, that's enough. So I would say whatever you think the time frame is, it's probably double it. That might be a decent rule of thumb. Now, that also means that when you make that decision to start it, you have to know that you have the resources to let it go. So one of the things that happens is it hasn't taken hold yet, and I'm running out of money. Or I've dumped $10,000 down this. You have to make those decisions going in, knowing I'm going to commit to this. Now, that doesn't mean if you do something for a month or two, and especially if it's online where you can really see in black and white what the results are, that you don't tweak and you don't make adjustments. But if you're going to be in all marketing takes longer to take hold than we think it does. All of it does. Marketing is a marathon, not a sprint. And so if you cannot commit the resources, time, money, staff time, whatever it is, to do it for the prescribed time that you think is about right, then you're better off to put the money back in your pocket and not do it at all.
Drew, could you follow that up and talk about marketing plans, please?
Oh, yeah. How many of you have a marketing plan that you look at least once a week? Okay, so those of you, which was most of you, which is always most of you, in every group, if you don't have something that says on Mondays we do this, on Tuesdays we do this, once a month we do that, it can really be as simple as a page of paper or two that just outlines, here's what we do every week, every month, every quarter, whatever it is. You need to have one of those. The odds of you actually executing all of those things goes up to about 95% if you have a written document. Now, if you're a startup and you're still trying a lot of things, you're trying to figure it out, maybe it's written in pencil and maybe it gets changed a lot, but at least have a document that in your Tuesday morning meeting or whatever meeting where you come together either with your team or with your advisors or whoever it is, you have a document that at least says, on Thursday we're supposed to do this. Are we going to do that? Yes or no? Where you're making a conscious decision to either honor the plan or violate the plan. The biggest mistake most marketing people make is that they do not have any idea. If you said to them, what are you going to do marketing-wise in a quarter? Yeah, I don't know. You've got to know, because otherwise, here's the reality of marketing. Marketing will never be on fire the way, your own marketing will never be on fire the way a client's problems are and all the other stuff you deal with every day. And literally, if you think about the way we actually work, we run from fire to fire to fire to fire all day long. No one goes to work at 8 a.m. and goes, I know exactly how today is going to be, and today actually works out that way, right? So if marketing is not built into your calendar, built into your day plan, however you sort of schedule your time and resources, something on fire will always distract you from getting it done. And we're the worst about our own stuff.
What's the one question that you wanted to be asked that you weren't, and what's the answer?
What is the one question I wanted to be asked that I was not, and what is the answer? Drew, can we hire you tomorrow? I have a bunch of money in my pocket. And the answer, of course, would be depends. So, because we're fortunate we get to be choosy about our clients. So, in most cases it would be yes, but it might be a depends. Yes?
How much money would you spend on marketing materials like a folder with a bunch of magazines? We have a lot of realtors that ask for Clyde to come speak to them, and they always get the folder, the 3-way folder with all this information, city demographics and things like that. And I have a feeling that when they walk out the door, it probably was in the trash.
So the question is, how much money would you spend on marketing materials? And then there was some clarification that Clyde gets asked to speak all the time, and he takes a beautiful folder with all this collateral stuff in it, and then odds are it's tossed somewhere, or it's still in someone's car probably, right, after the speech. My answer would be I would spend as little as possible in printed material. So I speak all over the country all the time. I don't have a printed brochure, I have nothing. What I do is I have a URL that I give the group, and everything I've done, whether it's my PowerPoint or it's handouts we did, are all online for them to download, because A, they can reuse it that way, so it's more valuable for them, right? So if I say to people, here, I'm going to give you a brochure, they're not going to call their staff together and gather around my brochure and say, here are the 4 points that Drew made, right? But if they can download my PowerPoint, they might, in a staff meeting, walk people through this stuff.
Would it be good to put it on, like, say, a flash drive that we can get for $3?
Sure. That would be another way to do it, is to distribute flash drives. A lot of people are doing that. Unless there's a reason that it has to be printed, like a big directory or something like that, really more and more people are going away from, it used to be we printed it so no one could steal it and copy it, and our attitude is very different now. Our attitude is, of course you can steal my stuff, of course you can copy my stuff, I'm here to share with you, that's what I do. Why? Because I'm giving you an hors d'oeuvre sample of what it's like to do business with us, and I hope sooner or later you'll come back and buy from us. So I would print as little as you have to, and I would stick it all online, and then if I want it, I can go online and get it. If I don't want it, it's not sitting in the back of my car for 3 days.
Or if we do a flash drive.
Or put it on a jump drive. Sure.
And then at least they keep that.
Yep. Okay, it's 1, so I want to be respectful of your time. I will wrap up. I will also stick around for a while, so if you got a question either you didn't want to ask in front of anyone else or you just thought of it, I will be around for a little bit. So thank you very much for your time today. I appreciate it.